Hey yo, what is good, y'all? So, Black Panther number 12 just came out, and this has kind of sparked a discussion. So I've been kind of seeing this discussion, this whole kind of run of Black Panther after like issue like 4 or 5, and it feel like people were saying that this is a slow burn, that this whole series is like a slow burn. And I'm definitely seeing a lot more down to we got issue number 12, where T'Challa, Black Panther, and Khonshu / Moon Knight actually go at it. They actually finally meet up and they fight this out, this little war that they've been having. And I've been seeing people saying, yo, finally, and this finally happened, this whole series is a slow burn, but I couldn't disagree more, bro. I don't think this joint's been a slow burn at all. I think this joint has been building this whole world, and a lot has happened. A lot has happened that's come to this point, and I'm gonna get into it. So I'm gonna really be talking about this whole series of Black Panther. So if you haven't read it and you don't want to be spoiled, turn this video off and come back, because I definitely don't agree with this whole slow burn. Okay, let's start with the first issue of Black Panther. Really get into that where, we start off where it sets up this whole world of Wakanda, this ultimate world, where, T'Challa, of course, is king, and then Okoye is his queen, and then, Shuri's right there by his. Also in issue 1, we basically see Ra and Khonshu coming together, like the god of sun and moon in Africa, come together and basically start trying to take over parts of Africa, you feel me? Like, it sets up for them to be the villain. That happens in the first issue, and they actually kill T'Challa's father. We get our first casualty in this, where they kill T'Challa's father, bro. Then we move to issue 2, which in issue 2 he kind of has to deal with that his father is now gone and this whole new war that is going on. And this ain't no little war. Like, Ra and Khonshu is really trying to come at Wakanda come at the Black Panther, because they are looking for something. Alright, that continues in this. And at the end of issue 2, you see Storm, which is really dope. They bring Storm into the story. And her and Killmonger are also throughout this story, which they have their own storyline. And that brings us to issue 3, where something really big happens, alright? You see Black Panther kind of leaves Wakanda. He's out with Killmonger and Storm, and they take him to like this little cave that he's never been to, right? And then in this cave, his Vibranium starts acting different and everything. So this starts off that Vibranium has a mind of its own, alright? In this series, throughout the series, you see that Vibranium is kind of its own thing, has its own consciousness, and which I'll talk about later because we get into that more. And then at the end of issue 3, we find something totally new, something that is basically the sibling to Vibranium, alright? And we get more into this later, but that happens at the end of issue 3. He finds that with Storm and Killmonger. This is issue 3 we're talking about. Issue number 4, T'Challa comes back to Wakanda, and his sister, there's another assassination attempt on his sister, bro. Like, they've been really coming at Wakanda crazy. This isn't the only assassination attempt either. And more in issue 4, we see Ra and Khonshu basically planning to take over Africa and everything, and to find this power that T'Challa just found. And in issue 5, this is where we kind of really talk about what this new substance is that's not Vibranium. They start talking about how Vibranium helped build their weapons and materials and cities and everything, but this also how Vibranium's kind of indestructible, but this substance kind of enhances life. It enhances life, and let me show you. At the end of issue 5, they attack Shuri and kind of take this new substance from her, right? And then in issue 6, right where this panel where my head is, we see them using the power to build and basically make new and enhance life, because that's what it does. And then so they are using this to basically show themselves as like their gods, and then get the people of Africa on their side and to go against Wakanda. So that's what Khonshu and Ra are doing. They're kind of using this new substance to basically to get the people on their side to go against Wakanda, and then continuing this war that is continuing to build. Now we halfway through the series right now. We on issue 6 and issue 7 just continues to build on in this story. So you see here what T'Challa is talking to the Voodoo Khan. They're like the priest and everything. They really the spiritual people that he goes to for guidance and stuff, and to talk to them. Like, all kings talk to these guys, right? And then so these guys do throughout this whole series, they kind of been like real secretive, not giving him all the information, you feel me? And it's kind of like they see the future in a way, in a little bit, and they kind of just give him guidance. But they start telling them stuff like, you know, Vibranium has a mind of its own. What if it has its own consciousness? You feel me? What if, like, are we using Vibranium, or is Vibranium using us? Like, it starts saying Vibranium is its own thing and everything. And T'Challa really starts going into that. But the Voodoo Khan play a big part in this series. They play a big part in this series. Kind of, like I said, they're guiding T'Challa to where he's going. They even tell him in the future you'll meet a woman of light, which he meets Storm not long after that, and says they'll have a child and stuff like that. So they're really guiding him, but they kind of seem like they have their own intentions. Like, it seems like they're not fully on T'Challa's side, but they are at the same time. Like, I really want to know what's up with them, because they real secret. But throughout this entire time, there is still a war going on. There's still a war going on. Like, we're this right here, this panel right here is from issue number 7, all right? And this is where he's kind of out there, you know, protecting people, you know, after, and trying to stop, like, this war that's going on. And then we see on this page, he kind of starts getting the people on his side. He starts getting the people on his side, because, I mean, these people don't really, outside of Wakanda, people don't know who the Black Panther is. And so he starts, that's why Khonshu and Ra, they was so easy for them to get these people, because they didn't really have nobody to look up to but them, who these gods who are making, like, who are showing them miracles and all that stuff. Of course they were going to look up to them, but they don't know nothing about T'Challa and the Black Panther, because Wakanda is hidden, which builds on this story, bruh. But here we really just see him getting the people on his side, you know, and then he says, put a name to the man that helped you, and they're like, Black Panther. And so, you feel me? So he's really trying to get the people on his side in this whole war, because this has been a war that's literally building throughout all these comics. I haven't showed all of it, but Ra and Khonshu are literally just running rampant, you know, killing people, taking over villages and stuff, you know, and then they still present themselves as gods and stuff, and people are following them. People have been willing to risk their lives. Like, one of the assassination attempt I showed earlier was a former Dora Milaje, woman of a Dora Milaje that left, and then Khonshu and Ra took her in, and then she tried to assassinate Shuri. Like, these people are putting their lives on the line for Ra and Khonshu. Like, bruh, this is a war. This is a whole war, which is why I don't understand the slow burn, because this joint just continues. They've been fighting throughout this whole comic. Like, all these issues, this is from issue number 8, all right? We're 4 away from where we at right now, and war been going on. But issue number 8, something really big happens, all right? T'Challa gets stabbed with a blade that has that other substance like Vibranium, and he gets affected by it. Like, on this page, he says, bro, I can feel it all. I can feel Vibranium. Like, it's singing to me, it's speaking to me. He tells her to hold up this blade at the top that has the other substance in it, and he basically summons the blade like he Thor or something straight into his hand, and he's basically like, I asked it to come to me. Like, I didn't command it to, I asked it to. Like, it has a mind of its own, and like, he can talk to it now, bro. Also, Storm and Killmonger have a little side story where they go get the Sorcerer Supreme. That part isn't really here nor there for me, you feel me? But them having their side story, I think, is really important. I'll get into that in a little bit. And this brings us to issue number 11, where if you saw my last video where I talked about number 11, where basically this has led T'Challa become like the Black Panther of Africa, not just Wakanda. Like, he's gonna become like a Batman for Africa, and that's more what he's leading to, and that's what happens in issue number 11, which gets us to issue 12, where he finally goes up against Khonshu / Moon Knight. All right, now the reason why I don't think this is a slow burn, because I think they just gave everything a room to breathe. Like, there's so many storylines that is very important, bro. You have T'Challa dealing with being king, his father's gone, and basically Africa's going to shit because these two gods are out there trying to take over, and there's a brand new power. You know, we have Okoye and Shuri who basically by his side that are both dealing with him as being king. Like, they have to go through this with him and seeing the things he's go through, and you know, they don't feel totally secure in what's going on, so they're going through that. You got the Killmonger and Storm story, which I think that more so is going to lead for future stuff after this whole war with Ra and Khonshu. I think that's going to lead to more stuff in the future, but that's still a big. You have this new substance and Vibranium still, and Vibranium has like a mind of its own. It's kind of like, it seems more like a symbiote, you feel me? And I like what they're doing with that. But yeah, I see people saying like they finally got to Khonshu and him fighting, but there was so much that needed to happen. This war is really building, like the tension is really building in this comic, and that's what I love. Like it's really building to something, and it's finally coming to a climax. So I very much disagree with the slow burn idea of Ultimate Black Panther. I think this series has been great storytelling, great world building, and it has a lot of action in it. It has a lot of action in it. So that's my opinion. I don't agree with the whole slow burn. So tell me what y'all think about the Ultimate Black Panther.